So I know this video is a day late. It didn't really make sense to upload this video last week. Like Thanksgiving is kind of weird because like a week before it doesn't really feel like Thanksgiving, and it doesn't really make sense. So you get this video a day late because it just makes more sense. Anyway, so this video is about Thanksgiving, and today is also Black Friday. So this video is also about Black Friday. So you get two holidays in one video. So yeah. Black Friday is a holiday about like spending money on toys and stuff like that. So I thought it'd be a good opportunity to just talk about like being grateful for money and all that other stuff. And there's like three categories of things you can be grateful for, or at least the main things. So I think this is like a good reminder for the holidays, right? So money, things cost money. Most things cost money at least. Food, toys, basically anything. As a kid, it was about toys. Now it's more about food. And in classic this channel fashion, we're going to start from the beginning. So when you're a baby, I don't think there's much like toys you get. Like maybe like a little bit, but like for the most part, it's just food, diapers, all of that stuff. But obviously I was a baby, so I couldn't really say thank you. Chances are I was probably like, being a baby and just making a mess or whatever. But obviously I appreciate it looking back. It costs a lot of money to take care of a baby, so I really appreciate my parents for just putting in the effort and all that stuff. But I think you get the idea, right? Toddler or preteen, I guess. I don't know why I wrote preteen. Oh, I guess because it's a really long range, right? At this point, people want toys, right? I think one of the biggest thing I wanted as a kid was a Power Ranger toys. I wanted to get as many as possible. Like I think there was like this one Power Ranger series that I grew up with, and I wanted to get every single toy from that series. Looking back, I feel like I didn't have to ask for so many. I think it was like pretty normal. Like I asked for a decent chunk, but I think it wasn't like overbearing, right? But yeah, looking back, it definitely wasn't like I didn't definitely have to, but I was a kid, right? So I didn't know better, and my parents were okay with it. So once again, appreciate them. I remember my dad tricked me one day because the toy was supposed to come like on a certain day of the week, and I was like looking at the Amazon to like know which day it would come because I was super excited. So I remember I come back from school one day, right? And then I remember my dad tricked me, and he said the toy didn't arrive yet, and I got like really upset because I was like, "What? It's supposed to come today." And I got like really upset, and eventually my dad like showed me that he tricked me and that the toy actually did arrive. I think he was trying to teach me patience. Because I was like really excited for this toy. But if you guys know the feeling of coming home and seeing a bunch of packages and it not being the one that you want, it's pretty funny. But yeah, parents would chill, but they said I needed to earn it, right? Like if I got a high grade on a test, I get a toy. So it gave me a good motivation. Like I think I've mentioned that I was always pretty decent in my studies anyway. So this never really came up for me. Like I always kind of just got good grades anyway. But you get the idea, right? So, teen years. So now people want games. I guess I'm still technically a teenager, but I'm talking more about like 5 years ago teenager. Pokemon is like the main game that I play. I started to ask for less things as I grew up. Like I think if I recall, right after I stopped watching Power Rangers, like around like my teenage years, or watched it a lot less at least. I didn't really buy as many things. And Pokemon games like I think cost more money anyway. So I think I just asked for a lot less stuff. They got me a laptop. Which is really all you need, right? There are a lot of free games on a laptop. So I'm not talking about like the illegal ones, by the way. I mean like actual free games. And yeah, I didn't really need much else, right? Like you start to grow up and you start to realize that like money is very valuable and like you don't really need everything, right? College years. So yeah, I don't really ask for games anymore. I just use my laptop. School costs money, and I think that's the main focus, right? Like school is not a cheap thing. I know I mentioned my tuition is like affordable, but that doesn't mean it's like $0. Like it still costs money, right? And I'm grateful that tuition is not an issue for my family. So I'm very wary of my spending. Most of my expenses are food. And like I said, I'm on a diet. I think I mentioned like I'm on a diet like in every video now. So I do spend less money. And occasionally there is like a non-essential purchase here and there. Like you get the idea though. Luxury. So stuff like expensive bags or like an iPhone or like really big trips. I've obviously been on a few, I don't know why you would know that about me. I've been on a few big trips here and there. They're obviously a great time, but they're expensive, right? It's easy to really want more, right? Like if you go on like a 5-day trip to like a country that's expensive, and you're like, oh man, I wish I could go for 7 days. Like I think it's important to remember that like if you're going to like Hawaii, or maybe you already live in Hawaii, if you're going to like another country or like another state for vacation, that is not like a normal thing, right? Like that's I call it like a middle class thing, right? Like it is normal, but like it's still like a luxury, right? So like it's important to understand like yeah, if you are doing like these cool things, and while it would be cool to do them more often, I think it's good to be grateful that you can get to do them at all, right? Because at the end of the day, right, as long as you have food on the table, I don't really think it matters that you don't get to do these expensive things all the time. Once or twice a year is really all you need. And I think this applies to everyday items as well. I feel like clothes are a good example of this. Like I have a decent amount of oh my god, I can't speak. I have a decent amount of shirts. Like realistically, you only need 3, right? Like I think this is what they say. Like one for like wearing, and then the other one for washing, and I guess like maybe a backup. Like back in like the olden days, I think when like clothes was harder to make, like you only had like 3 pairs of clothes, right? But humans grow, and they have like different tastes, so they usually want more than one piece of clothing, right? But like I feel like clothes is a good example because you have a lot of clothes, and clothes aren't really seen as like a fun thing, but like you require clothes to be warm and like not be naked. So like it's important, right? And it costs money too. So like toys are cool, right? Or like expensive stuff or like trips are cool, right? But clothes is like a necessity, and like that is like something you need to be grateful for as well, right? Job. I didn't censor the word job. I don't know why it's a trend to censor the word job. I hope it's a joke. I hope we haven't become like that, like media illiterate. But I'm at the age where I could get a job. I guess the reason why they censor it is because they don't want to scare like unemployed people. But I am unemployed, so I'm facing my fears. I never had a part-time job. I never needed one. I obviously do not mean this in a mean way. I just was never in a position where I had to get one, and I'm very grateful for that, right? And of course, when I see other people, like my classmates having part-time jobs, I had to think about like, oh, I guess they do need the money. So it is something that I've been thinking about recently. Like, yes, tuition is affordable, but if I had a job, I would help pay for that a little, right? So and you kind of want to pay the money back. Like you can never truly pay back your parents, but you still want to like have that like that drive, right? Like that motivation that like you want to repay them, not just with like your appreciation, but also with like money. But it's not a huge concern for me, at least, and I'm grateful for that. But I definitely want to start thinking about that. Health. I feel like health is taken for granted. You never really realize like how important or how great it is to be healthy until you get sick. Like you don't know how great it is to not have a cold until you have a cold. I'm pretty sure I have a cold right now. My life is so chaotic that it's really hard to think about, right? Like think about it for a sec, right? Like assuming that you're healthy or like for the most part, like you're doing all right. Think about how great it is to be healthy, right? Like especially as a college student who feeds himself, like it is important, right? Example. So I think I talked about this. I got a stomach virus a few months ago, and it hurt really badly. Like I don't think I felt that sick in a long time. But I guess because I was in college, I was just a little less healthy, and I realized that my parents took care of me really well because I rarely got sick when I was younger, right? And after it was over, it was great to feel normal again. But it really puts into perspective like how we take health for granted, but like that really reminded me like, wow, it's so good to not have the stomach virus 24/7, right? Situation. So I mentioned many times on my channel that I'm not exactly having the best time in college, but at the end of the day, I am grateful to have this opportunity to go to college at all, because not everyone can go to college, right? Like college is like definitely like an expected thing to do for a lot of people, but there's definitely people who want to go to college and just can't. So health and money are extremely important. I'm fortunate to have decent health and not have to worry about money, right? Because in the context of my own life, I'm not having the best time, right? But I have all the resources and the environment to be successful and to live a fulfilled life. I just got to figure out how to use those resources. All right, first world problems. Some are definitely valid. Also, if you don't know what a first world problem is, that's probably a good thing. Like first world problems are basically things that like people encounter in like your everyday life that are like kind of annoying, but like realistically not that bad. Like if you have no Wi-Fi, it's annoying, but it's not detrimental, right? If your food is cold, put it in the microwave, right? Like you get the idea, right? Like we're so used to things being straightforward and like easy that when we get annoyed by like the smallest inconvenience, right? Like these are things that people didn't even have 100 years ago, and yet we're somehow still upset that we can't have them. Like I feel like a good example of this is this. I remember back in high school, I saw like a World War II memorial, right? And it had the names of high school students who fought in World War II. And you really have to think about it, right? Because these people are like not like barely 18. I imagine they drafted like seniors who were just like had an earlier birthday or like close enough to 18 that like it was no difference. And like it's kind of nuts to think about because like we're out here worrying about like hard AP classes, and these people are literally like dying for their country. Like I think like when you compare the two together, sitting down in a classroom, like you know, and doing a hard class, it's obviously challenging, but it's not like fight in World War II level, right? Like it reminds us how lucky we are to live in a modern day where things are at least on a surface level peaceful, right? Like I understand like obviously in modern day is like kind of chaotic, but like on a surface level, like things are peaceful, right? Like people 100 years ago did not have Wi-Fi or stuff, and they literally fought in World War II, but they got by, right? Like they got by. Like I'm very grateful. Like we don't have to do that, and I'm also obviously really grateful that they served their country, right? Comparing. Some people have it worse. Like this is definitely true, right? Like what every like 60 seconds in Africa a minute passes. That's the joke. But like other people having a worse time doesn't exactly make me feel better. Like if anything, it makes me feel more sad. Like there's like this one song like that kind of talks about this. Like yes, like other people may have it worse than me, but that doesn't necessarily make me feel better, right? If anything, it just makes me feel worse because it's like, well, I having a bad time, and there's people out there who could have it worse, right? Like, but I guess the whole point is that if you're living a comfortable life, your struggles are definitely valid, but they're not like fighting World War II levels of scary, right? Like I think like college students are a good example of this because we often are like complaining or not complaining, but like feeling upset about like how life just is not the happiest. But I think it's important to like yeah, you can acknowledge those struggles and like they are important, but it are also like important to understand we can always have the mentality to move forward, like because we're in a position where we can, right? So conclusion, right? Today is Black Friday. There's a lot of discounts, and they're gonna be people are gonna be buying a lot of stuff. But I think the main takeaway is that like it's important to remember that life is more than that, right? There may be like a toy that's like 50% off, and like wow, it's an expensive toy that's like on sale. But at the end of the day, what's important is that you are in a position where you're comfortable and you want to improve, right? I think it's important to be grateful for everything in your life, and of course, I am grateful for you watching. Bye.